I'm Lydia. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. It's finally springtime, and so I thought I'd share with you some of my favorite spring reads. This is a book log I've really been enjoying lately. You can just log all your books in it, tell the title, author, your thoughts. I just have been really enjoying it. Very lovely. And then this is Mandy by Julie Andrews Edwards. It's a very lovely book. It does have all the seasons, but it mainly takes place in spring and summer. It very much makes me happy and excited to go outside and garden. And then you have The Secret Garden. It's a very loved book, and to anyone who hasn't read it yet, I would highly recommend it. It very much makes me think of springtime with all the gardening and everything else about it. And then there is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. I really love this book. It just has a lot of nature in it, which reminds me of spring and summer. It also does have beautiful illustrations in it. It's a very fun book, and it definitely has some humor in it. Then I have The Floriography, which my grandmother got me. It's very cute. It tells the name of the flower, the meaning, the origin, and then what to pair it with other flowers to make a bouquet that means certain things. I use this all the time. I love it. It is by Jessica Rue, and it's one of my favorite books. This is just a big book of fairy tales, and the main one is Beauty and the Beast, but there's probably 100 other ones. This one mainly does make me think of springtime though, just because of the cover and how beautiful it is. I just love this book. I think it's so beautiful. And then this is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, another classic. And again, if you haven't read it, I would highly recommend that you do. It is my all-time favorite book. This version is extra fun. It has letters in it, like when they're written in the book, they have the physical copy that you can read, and they're just so beautiful, and the handwriting is lovely. I just love it. And finally, we have The Tales of Peter Rabbit and His Friends by Beatrix Potter. Everything about her reminds me of spring. The bunnies, the mice, the kittens. I just love it. Her illustrations are just gorgeous. Everything about her is just spring to me. But yeah, those are my favorite reads, and maybe you'll check some of them out before I cozy up with a good book. I think I need to make a spring treat, so hopefully you'll come along with me.
The Hope of Spring. Gentle rain and glistening dew give life to barren winter sod. A springtime tulip opens wide and raises petaled eyes to God. Trees are gowned in lacy green, springtime displays her lovely frills. The hills are standing tall and proud and turning gold with daffodils. God extends his gentle hand to each sleepy, hibernating thing, for the winter never leaves us without the hope of spring. This poem is called The Hope of Spring by Barbara Cagle-Ray. I found it recently flipping through a book of poetry and instantly fell in love with all the beautiful spring-drenched words. I just love spring so much with all the beautiful hope it brings, so that's why today I've decided to make pedophores. I'm so excited to make these today because I wanted to make them for a very long time. Spring seemed like the absolute perfect time to make them. They just say spring to me. Right now I'm just adding the wet ingredients on top of the dry ingredients. All simple ingredients you probably have on hand. While I was doing this, I kept getting distracted thinking about the weather, hoping it will warm up soon. Although it's spring here, it's not really warm yet, so I'm still excited for the first day the sun decides to grace us with her warmth. Spring is one of my favorite seasons. I love swinging in the sunshine and planting the first flower seeds of the season. It all just brings me such immense joy. Spring is probably the most exciting time of year for me. I love all the new life it brings. I love when the grass starts to turn green and the leaves and flowers start to bloom. I enjoy spending time outside after being indoors so much in the winter. I look forward to taking long walks and reading in the sunshine or under a tree. I relish walking barefoot with the earth beneath my feet and dirt between my toes. I like driving through the beach, although the water is far too cold to swim in before summer. So I'm just waiting excitedly and maybe a little impatiently for the weather to warm up, because like I said, it's still quite cold here. So once the cake cooled, I cut it down the middle and trimmed off the edges. Then I cut it into quarters. This was a pretty simple step. I took the top layer off one of the pieces and spread a very thin layer of jam onto two of the cake pieces. Now I just filled the final two pieces with buttercream. After that, I cut each quarter into little squares, about 1 to 1.5 inches. Right now I'm dipping the pedophores. I used chocolate and added in a little of coconut oil. These took a bit longer to make than I thought they would, but that's okay because I really enjoyed the process. I absolutely love baking. I've loved it for as long as I can remember. When I was little, I used to bake with my grandma. Even now I love to send her pictures of my baked goods or call her over to try things. I felt like dipping these was so satisfying and fun. Although beware, if you end up making these, chocolate will most likely end up all over your hands, and if you're a messy baker like me, it will probably end up all over your kitchen. Don't let that scare you away though. These were so tasty and worth every second of the work. I have to say decorating these was probably my favorite part. I'm not very good at decorating things, but it is a very enjoyable thing for me. These flowers were quite simple. The frosting was basic buttercream dyed a pastel pink. I twisted the frosting bag a bit when I was piping them. After that, I poked an edible white pearl in the middle.
I had so much fun making some pedophores today. It's my first time. They're certainly not perfect, but I'm really, really happy with how they turned out. I've always wanted to do it, and I'm just glad I finally did. So now I'm just gonna relax with a good book and my tea. So thank you so much for joining me today.